Here we are, part two, and let's have a bit of a chat about Flemington to start with. DK, what did you spot there on Saturday?
Well, first, what was a good start is the track, mate. You walk the track, and
yeah, the track was interesting actually. So I haven't fully reviewed this meeting yet. I've just done the raw times. I haven't gone back and looked at all the videos yet. So it did seem to be a lot of the winners ended up coming out into what was the old irrigation lane. So now I walked the track on Thursday, and for the whole last 12 months since they've got the big irrigator off the home straight at Flemington, there's been no sign of that lane. It just hasn't been there, and when it has, it's been very subtle. So once upon a time, when the rail was 9 metres, you had to go out to lane 3, and from lane 3 and then the next 6 lanes was where the big irrigator rolled down the centre of the track, and it was worth anywhere between 3 and 5 lengths. Now I'd say it's come right back. But there might just be a little bit of residual there where it's worth a length or maybe whatever. And because it's so subtle, it's very hard to pick up when you're walking it. Now I was sort of doing my best last week with my pole with virtually one hand because my wrist I've recovered now, so I'm sweet. But I mean, to be honest, I tried really hard and I couldn't find anything. I was looking for that lane.
Because the rail, that was where the meeting was out. The last meeting, where's the rail?
So the rail, it was 5 metres. So you know it was
the midweek meeting.
So there's the 9 metre rail.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm saying it used to be 3 lanes to where the irrigation lane used to start. Then it was another 2 lanes to where the rail was at the 14 metre.
14 metre, yeah.
Right, so it's sort of in the mix there. So, and there was damage from that 14 metre meeting, but it was pretty superficial. And the thing is, I walked the track on Thursday, and it would have been watered again Thursday night and watered again Friday night, of course. So that meant there could have been some subtleties in that when it was watered. You know, they could have, a little bit of more water could have ended up in one part. Not really, though. I don't think that would have been the case. So I just think it's one of those things where, as it turned out, the right horses end up in those lanes.
Spot with their momentum and everything.
Yeah. So when I review it, my inclination is to not be too kind to the horses that were on lane 1 and 2. I'm not thinking I need to think they were disadvantaged. And the horses out in those other lanes have probably run to their... So that where I could see a little bit of subtle firmness in the track was the turning section. So from the 1400 right around to the home turn, that big irrigator still does that section.
Yeah.
They've actually moved it a little bit wider, but they, it was just ever so slightly firmer in lanes 3, 4 and 5 than it was in lanes 1 and 2 in those sections. But it was pretty subtle. It wasn't worth mentioning, and they've just run really good 3 times there all day.
It's not good solid meeting when I had a look this morning.
So I think the track's just played really well. I thought the on paces would do better than they did. I'm just surprised. Okay. I thought we're going into the meeting in the 7 circle races. I was thinking half of them will be won on pace and the other half will be won just off pace. I wasn't really thinking. In the end, they've all been won off pace.
So no, won't worry about the 2-year-olds.
Yeah,
it was just a go, rinse, repeat. The 3-year-olds, you got this was Wild Planet, who's that we spoke off that Ballarat maiden, a very unlucky Rainy here, and another unlucky horse which was Peaceful, the New Zealand horse in behind. But this seemed right because Wild Planet was wide after a bad start, and Rainier.
Rainier is an interesting horse. He's still a maiden, and like Huey was very safe.
Very safe, which is, that's what you're going to get this time of year with Huey. Even on Invincibella in the last, he had a really good look. If something was up outside him, he wasn't pushing it out of the way. He had a really good look to make sure he had plenty of room. It's just what you're going to get with him back in H. Bowman when he's riding wings.
So at this stage, I need to go back and look at it all again, but at this stage I'm thinking if they were running that race again this Saturday and the prices were the same, I'd be happy to back Wild Planet again. I mean, he did a lot of work in that race and he won it. Rainier's got a chink, and the fact that he was able to sort of not be exposed to very late in that race has hidden his chink, I think. There's a reason that horse is still a maiden. If he was exposed and having to work a bit harder, it might find him out. So I'm still not convinced about Rainier, but it's easy to watch the video and think he's clearly unlucky, but can he make a race his own? Can he dominate a race on his own and make his own luck? I don't know.
Well, I think that gives Wild Planet a really good, whatever he goes to next, I'd be certainly interested in him.
Yeah, definitely.
The big first up win, the wide all the way.
It's all good for him.
It's really good for him. So I think he's the horse to follow going out of that, because Rainier is going to be everyone's black book, but like you said,
And
possible chink.
I bet Calastra at 20s in that race, and I thought her run was
Well,
she was good.
Still on pace.
You know, so there we go. Anyway,
the Paris Lane, this mare, she let go late. Off no favours in the run, but.
Well, I mean that was the right run on the day, I suppose. Okay. And
that's on the day. Yeah.
A lot of horses. Yeah, the rest of them all got in each other's way. You know what I mean? So Plonchill's obviously not. He must have had an issue or something to overcome. He's turned up 75% right. Just a run to get him back on track. None of them would perform. They've sort of got in each other's way. She's run well, so.
And that's why that's what Ben Melbourne said. He wished he'd led on Sir John Lavery and just hoped he was better than him. Just thinking he was better than him, but.
So one of the things to think about, I had this conversation with Trevor Lawson last week. Someone had asked him who are the top 5 trainers in Victoria, and it's obviously Darren Weir. And then you start to think about the next 4, and you start to search. You know what I mean? Trying to fill in the other blanks. Because at the moment, a bit in Melbourne on Saturdays, it's really interesting. It's either Weir or the interstate trainers. Right? That's what's the last 2 weeks. That's what's happened. But our trainers are taking horses to Sydney and winning. So I can't. I think at the moment it's worthwhile just backing the horses that are making an interstate trip. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of them winning. So the frustrating part about the Wild Planet race I'll just mention is that I was very keen on a horse from Swan Hill, Yulong January.
Oh yes.
I was going to have a maximum bet on Yulong January in that race.
Yep.
I'm convinced it would have won.
Right.
They took it to Sydney, the race on the heavy, and it got the job done.
Got the job done. I saw it went up there.
But some of that form out of Swan Hill.
Nothing wrong with that Swan Hill form, mate. Actually, there's another one. There was a meeting there, maybe last Tuesday, I reckon. What was it? I wrote it down here.
You haven't rated that race yet.
Oh, I think Delusions was the first start of 3-year-old filly at Weir's. If it isn't a group horse, I'll give up. So, first start, she's going out on the track, trotting to the gates, and the employee loses his iron on the track. So the strappers are out searching the straight. The race is delayed 10 minutes. They've got to redo the saddle and everything. So she gets fizzed up.
Right.
So she leaves the mounting yard, and she's all had enough. She jumps from the outside barrier, sits 3 wide the trip, and just towels them in the best sections of the day easily. What a nice horse it is, Delusions. So there's the Swan Hill form for you. The Yulong January, Savoir, it's all nothing wrong with we likes taking them there, and so nothing wrong with that Swan Hill form.
I think it makes sense. I think that's why I was thinking Kieran Maher had taken Yulong January to Swan Hill twice to prep it for a Flemington race because of the country tracks, Swan Hill's more like Flemington than any of the others.
Yeah, terrain's out of terrain's mad leaders, see?
Yeah.
So it's no use to be the nice big Flemington of the bush, but it's savage leaders.
Yeah.
When Swan Hill's a nice big running.
A nice big running. So it teaches the horses to be patient and wait.
Yeah, good.
Anyway, but he took it the Ram week, unfortunately. Anyway.
Spannerhead, was that in that?
Yeah.
I was just talking about that. What about Archie? I've spooked him. I love Archie. Love backing his horses. And then he had the 6 weeks with the strangles through the stable, and so his horses appeared at the races last week for the first time or something. Marette, was it Pirette or something? And what was the other one? What's the thing that won a Bendigo?
Yep.
Went like a Learjet. Marette went
Perel.
Perel. This, and then Spannerhead's gone, and we've got a black type placing for him. First up in that race. It's just shows what a great trainer he is to me.
Yeah.
Just to get his horses running at that level, off 40, 50 day breaks,
Yeah, so when you see either Archie Alexander or Matt Kamani with horses with 30 days between runs, don't worry about it.
No. Don't worry about it.
Particularly if they're fancy, they'll run well.
Yeah. Sikorsky, mate. This was Sikorsky's race, the 1800. Well, you got Glint here. Glint. Do you see how he rode Pierrot Pan for the first 500 metres of the race? Finished with the ambulance. Yeah. So he's driven its ears off, made Savoir and Sikorsky do that extra work. And he finished the ambulance there, Battle and set it up for this nice, strong Weir improver to just run over him late. So, I don't know.
You've summed it up perfectly there.
150 to 1
chance. Going into the race, I'm thinking, Daniel's riding Savoir, and so I'm saving on it, having it go around a winner for me, and I really like Sikorsky. So I'm thinking Luke Nolan just followed Daniel wherever he goes. So he's done exactly that. So I can't be anything but
everything was sweet.
Yeah.
And Hayes just even said he's stargaze because he's out there in front by himself, probably for the first time. And you've got this big Weir. How many times you see the big Weir closer off the, he's just had the good run to be there late. But they dead set got cleaned on, and he just rode its ears off that 150 to 1 chance. and finished dead set tailed off.
So the interesting thing, going back to Brian's question earlier about, so the race at Caulfield was slow early, fast late, 1400 metres. It's probably not a bad race to go up in distance out of if you've got natural stamina. So the mistake, I didn't assume that, or didn't anticipate that Extra Brute had that natural stamina. He's obviously got it, and well, you know. And
Weir, see Weir, they just, don't worry about Weirs off slow bases.
Yeah.
I don't worry about him. I said he's put big bases under them.
Yeah.
You know, and they get momentum and the right tempo on the race. They just go. You know.
So there we
That's
go.
what they're trained for.
Yep.
So that was that race, but that how's that hold them in good stead? I think. I just want to shout out too to the lone filly in the race, exclusively ours. I found her 2 starts ago in a low Kilmore maiden, you know, $8 to $5.50 or something. Couldn't find her. She's fallen into 3rd or something. Just improved her rating, 7 links there to run 5th. When GK's not on, of course, you know, as soon as all done. So that's naturally typical for me. They improve out of sight when I'm not there. But so she's done a good job. She's a lone filly there to get into 5th spot. And the Turnbull mate, the great mare.
Yeah, I would just. I mean, she's the one that provides a lot of clarity about some of these theories that we talk about. You know what I mean? Because everyone goes about the pressure on Huey and whatever. Give me a break.
He's
got the horse with the greatest weapons you've ever seen.
He's driving a Ferrari.
He can do whatever he likes and she'll get him out of trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, all she's had to do in this race is run a fast last 800, maybe a fast last 1000.
Very fast.
Well, very fast. Like, unbelievably fast. There's no other horse that I've ever seen that could do that. Right, but honestly, it's a terrible ride, and she's just covered it up for him.
That's it. Yeah.
Like, he chose to go back there when they were cantering early. He chose to stay there.
Be inside the second pick.
Yeah.
Have the second pick holding him in.
Just let himself get snookered. Like, he chose those things, and then, you know, had the, you know, to give him credit, show the patience to wait till a gap came, and she's just got the weapons to get you out of anything.
Yeah, that's right.
So, you know, like, just extraordinary, and, you know, I think it's probably a good building run for the other horses in the race.
Yeah, no, it's a great, that's what I'd like to see, that sort of back end and all that, for all those horses going into the Caulfield Cup and things like that. I reckon it's a terrific race for them, you know.
Yeah.
I think I just had a squiz through the pre-post, and Ventura Storm seems big odds to me in the Caulfield Cup.
Yeah, he's one of those horses. I think he's done all of his racing pretty much in Group 1 races, and he's just got a little bit of a chink that means he can't quite get there. Like, it's sort of, he seems to run well in these races where you're not fully tested, and then when the full test comes, he just finds a little bit beyond him. But
he was 50 to 1, and the other two are right in the market. Like, and he ran $12 or something last year's Caulfield Cup. So anyway, it was one of those perusing. Just boom time sort of. It's going to come down to the runs they get, you know.
Absolutely. That's why I hear a lot of people pontificating about the Caulfield Cup and everything else, but I couldn't even think about it until I see a barrier draw.
Yeah, that's right.
And I see how the track's going to run. Like this time last year, I went and walked the track with it. You know, a good friend of the show, James Sist, and James and I walked it, and the grass was really long, and we'd had these 2 meetings in July that had chopped the track out a bit wider, and it sort of become more and more evident that you wanted to be on the inside. And so all this talking about it now, none of those facts are known. You know what I mean? They won't be known until you get to the race. And
that's it. Yeah.
You know, I never in my wildest dreams would have thought Boom Tom would be a Caulfield Cup winner. And I did the map, thought, well, this horse gets every chance possible, but he's still not good enough to win it. But I can have a place bet on this horse, so I threw him in a half a unit by a unit or whatever, and he happens to win it. You know, he beats a horse like Yanis Vermeer, who's you know, like just a proper Group 1 horse. Anyway, you just, until we see the barrier draw and how it all shapes up and what the pattern's going to be, leave me out of making too many predictions. There's just a lot of good horses that are extremely well prepped going into that race. That's what I'll say.
Exactly. And the Gill guy, this was maximum torture for you, mate. Eduardo, you're on Eduardo on Bonzaway, and
I had to talk myself in the back in Eduardo because it was just such an aggressive placement, you know, 15 kilos out of the handicap and everything else. But I did all the figures and thought just forget what their rating, their official rating is. Forget that. Do the race. Look at it. Put the figure you think they're going to run beside it, so I can flick to my page here and show you. And I really didn't have much between them, you know. And I thought the shape could just really suit Eduardo if he can change legs enough going in the straight line down the straight. And I've got this really tightly rated race, and the market's sort of got a bit of bias in it. So if I back these ones that are on the fringe, there's value in it, which is why I back 3 of them. They look like they've got the race won with 50 metres to go.
And he's
also been
backing. I'm excited.
They didn't racing.
That's it. And the Bart Cummings, well, this horse bolted. Harrison bolted in front with the blinkers and set up a really brutal tempo. And so they've run, that means, so obviously good when we were talking about, they've run strong time as a result, because a couple of horses there primed to clear out with the platforms they had to clear out, and they benefited from that. So they've run time with these horses. First of all, Avilius. I mean, I suppose we should talk about them in terms of Melbourne Cup points, I suppose, don't we?
Yeah, very interesting what the prep will be for Avilius, whether it's just keep him ticking over and straight in the Melbourne Cup.
That's it, which is the old Mandan way.
Run on Cox Plate day.
And the Cox Plate behind wings. There's the two options I would have thought.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't consider the Moonee Valley Cup, but maybe you don't. Maybe it's just the Cox Plate. I don't really like that back and distance now, but with good horses, it doesn't matter. You know, like, he's not a stayer. He's a really good horse.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like he can sprint. They're so rare. You know what I mean? Like to me, he's on my radar as a really genuine Melbourne Cup chance because he can actually produce a big sectional.
Section, which is
he's got great stamina. So, I mean, he showed a lot of attributes you need to win a Melbourne Cup there on Saturday.
That's what I was thinking, yeah, exactly.
He's only had 3 runs, he's stepping up significantly in distance, the tempo's brutal, he travelled into the race on the bit, and then when he was challenged by a very, very strong horse that had the race set up for him completely, he fought really hard, with giving it a lot of weight. So, I mean, it's just a straight row of ticks for me. And when you come to do the form for the Melbourne Cup and you start to evaluate all these inputs and everything, the one thing I know for sure is this horse will be in strong consideration. So he's not a betting proposition now because he's the flavour of the month because he's won Saturday, but he'll go out of...
That's what happened to Oman, and Oman was the same thing, doubled in and then got out to double what he was when he won. So
so I'd imagine he'll probably go around better than a 10-to-1 chance on Cup Day, and I'd be very shocked if I'm not backing in Cup Day. So, anyway, there we go.
And the second horse you like here, it's a nice horse, and our old mate Yogi.
He's a terrific stager, mate. I'll be very disappointed if he doesn't manage to get into the Melbourne Cup. Like, I know he's an import, but he's raced in Australia. He's produced 2 really big winning efforts at Flemington. He's, been photo finished and protested in this race. If he doesn't qualify for a Melbourne Cup, it's hard for locals to get into the field.
That's it. An old mate Yogi.
Yogi, I mean, he's the horse that sort of tells you that these other 2 are really genuine stayers, because Yogi's run right to his peak. He had the race set up for him. Like, he has run as good as he can go, and they're in front of him. So I think that franks the race.
And then you get, as we've been discussing times and sections and how races are run, we come into a complete opposite here with the Edward Manifold, which was basically a barrier trial, and they went out very slow and had a nice sprint home. So
quickest sectionals of the day for the circle races.
And but also in the context of backing up into the 1,000 guineas, I think this is suitable. Because there's no emptying out here, there's no tough runs. And they said, is she going to back up? I'll see how she pulls up. And if they don't pull up well off a run like this, and they're bouncing, they've got springing in their step from running quick late sections, I think it's a suitable platform to back up.
Definitely. I'd agree with that totally. It was a funny race from a betting point of view. When I first did it, I actually marked them for trot short, but then I looked at the 2 dangers, and they're both weir horses, and I don't know, maybe it's what do you think, DK, when you're in that situation and the clear top 3 picks in a race are all from the same stable, does it give you pause for I don't know if I want to be involved here, or do you sort of not let any gremlins get inside your head?
No, not really. I just go to particularly with him, it's about the platform and then the map and who's going to get the best momentum at the right time. So Very Elegant was probably...
She was tricky. She was tricky because
she was first up and low draw or something.
And she's a very immature filly, you know what I mean? She's got a lot of talent, but...
this is post-race, but if I saw this in a maiden, and there's a low draw first up, it'd be the first one I'd be looking to bet against, with the fit ones who have drawn to get momentum at the right times. So no, not really. I'd just be around there. I'll be finding ways to and how we trains and things like that. But he's the only one you run into who's going to have this kind of thing happen,
Well, there's a bit of hollowness in all that 3-year-old filly form. So, and there's a hollowness to this race, but it's a good shape to give them a chance to, peak in the 1,000 guineas. So you can't, they're in the race. if they start.
And the mares, Huey got away with one here, so...
Yeah, nice. Huey's just dominated the race, and all the others got there at each other's way.
Again.
Frustrating for me.
Yeah, with Savatiano.
Well, what also really liked, the one I'm back for the best result, was Tulip, and unfortunately for Mark Zahra, he jumped too well. He would have loved, I'm sure he would have loved to have kept the horse on his inside. He jumped from gate 5 and he jumped better than all the horses inside him, which meant he got pushed to the rail and stuck behind 2 roughies, and just no momentum at all. Meanwhile, Huey's just following the momentum.
They got beautiful momentum.
Couldn't always get better for him, but she's won easy, so I have to put
Savatiano, she's won easy because Savatiano's badly held up to.
Yeah, well,
she was the other one in the betting that was entitled to clear out, to clear run. Yeah. I thought there were some good runs here from the resumers. Looking probably towards the Matriarch or something. I suppose that's the race they go to. They're kicking off over 1400 here, which were the ones from the back. Temple of Bell, I thought she's one of ours. She's Aloysius hit the line soundly, and Bring Me Roses was another who got held up back on the inside. But they were resuming at 1400, where Intervitsabella was there third up to get up. So I thought, if they're kicking off at 14, they're probably looking to in a month's time at the Matriarch or something like that, so we'll follow them. Yeah,
they're all good points that came on. When I haven't done that video yet, but when I do, the horse that I really am looking for is Temple of Bell. I think if
she's hit the line well,
if you can get it right, if she's 100% right in a race over the Carnival, I'll be really keen to back her. But
well, that's
just a matter of whether
I'd say this is the return you want to see from her. First, she was 40 to 1 there first up, so and she's getting home really well. So out the back and running, which is what you want to see off a first up run from her.
Beautiful.
That's it, mate. Anything else?
I think we've covered it all, DK.
That'll do.
That's something for the punters. Like I said at the start of the show, anyone that wants to get my stuff over the big 7 meetings, just shoot me an email via the website, and 7 meetings, $300, and hopefully we show a big profit.
Be good.
All right, mate.
All right, we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Good on you, mate.